Hi guys, welcome to Storytime Sunday. Hope you guys had a fantastic week. This weekend went by super duper fast. I don't know if it did for any of you, but I know it did for me, that's for sure. Woke up this morning and I could not believe that it was Sunday already. Crazy. So we'll give it just a few minutes like we always do to let people join us. Tonight's a fun book, a very fun book. Of course, all the books are fun. I haven't read a book that isn't fun yet. This one's going to probably take a little extra homework after the show. So any of the adults who are in the room who've got littles with them, you might want to do a little bit of homework afterwards to explain some of the animals we talk about, because tonight's book is talking about animals in Australia. So there might be a little bit of homework to do afterwards to have a discussion about what these animals are in the real world. So like I said, we'll just give it a little bit of time for people to join us. Please do say hi when you join the chat. I would love to see who's actually watching. I don't think that little eyeball up in the corner always works correctly, because sometimes I notice people chatting when it says that there's nobody watching. So if you do join us, please say hello. And we'll just give it a couple more minutes. Oh, there's a Borderlands mask.
Baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do.
No, it's too late at night for that. Too late at night. Hi Karen, happy Sunday. Thank you for joining us. I can't believe it's Sunday. I was saying that earlier. I literally cannot believe it's Sunday already. This weekend went by way too fast. Way too fast. Just a 8. But I just wanted to give everybody who wants to a little bit of time to join us this evening. It really did. Tonight's book is fun. We'll talk a little bit about the book. This is the book, Eee-Moo. How cute is that? Look at that little face. And I know adults out there are saying, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. But when we read the book, we'll find out why it's titled Eee-Moo and what the little guy on the cover is. And like I mentioned, this might take a little bit of homework afterwards if you got littles with you to explain what some of these animals are, because not all littles know the animals we're going to be talking about tonight, because they're from a different continent. But it is past 8 o'clock, so we will jump right in. Tonight's book is Eee-Moo by, it could be Annika, it could be Annika. I'm not 100% sure on the pronunciation of this. So for our benefit, we'll say it's Annika. Tonight's book is Eee-Moo by Annika Dunklee and Brian Wan. Eee-Moo. One day, in a little town not so far away, a platypus egg was found and brought to the local zoo. But suddenly, and then, the egg rolled and rolled and rolled until crack. The egg rolled down the hill and crack. Eee! Squealed the pig. Moo! Bellowed the cow. Pop! Went the platypus. Eee-Moo! Announced the platypus a moment later. Here's an emu, of course, said the horse. What's an emu doing here, who? Said the owl. He's very far away from home. This shows how far away from home he is. Here's the farm. This is lots of water. And all the way over here is the continent of Australia, home of Emu. He should take the bus, suggested Chicken. At the very least, confirmed the owl. So Emu the emu, who was actually a platypus, set off on his journey to Australia, land of the emu. Home to Emu? Emu took a bus. Then a ferry, followed by a train. Then a moped. This is a moped. And then a rickshaw. This is a rickshaw. And finally, an airplane. Until at last, Emu arrived in Australia. As Emu stood waiting for a cab, along bounced a kangaroo. "How you going?" the kangaroo greeted Emu. "Emu!" Broadway wanted to read the book too. "Emu!" replied Emu. "You want to see the emus? Hop in, young fella. I'll take you there myself." Just then, a kookaburra flew from overhead. "Hello down there," he called. "Where are you off to?" "Emus," the kangaroo called back. "This little fella's looking for emus." "That's just where I'm headed. I'll take him the rest of the way." Broadway apparently wants to read the book with us. Up, up, up went Emu and the kookaburra, but Emu was way too heavy. Down, 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 down went Emu. But, as luck would have it, he was dropped right in front of an emu farm below. Up, 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 and down, down, down. But look at that, right by an emu farm. "Well, hello, who might you be?" asked one of the emus. "Emu!" declared Emu, ready to receive all his hugs. "Yes, I'm an emu, but what are you?" asked the emu. Emu looked around and suddenly noticed he didn't look anything like an emu. So these are emus. Does that look like an emu to you? Emus are tall and with skinny necks. But Emu doesn't look like a tall bird. He looks like a little bird. Emu's eyes began to well up with tears. He had taken a bus, train, ferry, moped, rickshaw, airplane, kangaroo, and kookaburra, only to find out he didn't belong here after all. He had traveled all this way for nothing. "Now hold on a minute," piped up a koala who had been listening to everything in a nearby eucalyptus tree. "I think I have an idea. Hop on board and you'll see what I mean." And there's the koala. What do you think his idea is? The koala and Emu on his back walked along a dusty path until they reached the edge of a stream. "We've been looking everywhere for you," cried Emu's mother and father, running towards him with open arms. Here's his mommy and daddy. So Emu the emu, who was actually a platypus, from the little town not so far away, which, as it turns out, was quite far away, had taken a bus, train, ferry, moped, rickshaw, airplane, kangaroo, kookaburra, and koala to find home. But Emu realized something was missing. All of his friends who helped him along the way. So he invited them to visit. Look at all of his friends. They came to visit him. All of his friends on the bike. So, we learned about a bunch of animals in this book that you might not have heard about before. Let's go back and think. So first, we learned about the emu. And the emu was that really tall, skinny bird we looked at. And then we learned about a koala. You might have seen koalas before. Koalas kind of look like teddy bears, but they're not really bears. Those are koalas. We learned about the platypus, who Emu actually was. And if you're a Disney fan, you might have heard that one before. Perry the platypus. So this mammal actually lays eggs. Crazy, right? We learned about a kookaburra, which is a bird. And there's a song in Australia about a kookaburra, which I'll sing for you in a moment. And a kangaroo. You've probably heard of a kangaroo before. I think those were the biggest ones. So those are all the animals we learned about in Emu. Like I said, in Australia, there are a couple songs that are really fun to sing, and one of them is about a kookaburra. It goes something like this, if I can remember it correctly. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, merry, merry king of the bushes he. Laugh, kookaburra, laugh, kookaburra, save some room for me. There's more to it, but that's the kookaburra song. And Australia, just like we do, has their own national anthem. And a very, very long time ago, I had some friends who lived in Australia, and they taught me the national anthem. And that goes, again, if I can remember correctly, like this. Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt port by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauties rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains that let us sing, advance Australia fair. Something like that. I learned that in 1993, so it's been a while. But there you go. You learned a little bit about Australia. So now your homework. If you have littles with you, I would love for you to take some time and look on your phones or on a computer. Show them where Australia is, or littles, show your parents where Australia is if you know, and look up some of these animals today and take a look at what they look like in real life, what a platypus looks like, and also an emu. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me for Storytime Sunday. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I'm going to start working on my Australian accent so it's a little bit better. I will see you guys next Sunday. I stopped into my friend's The Briar Patch and got a whole bunch of new books for us for this month. So that's exciting. So I'll have new stories for you for the next 3 weeks. And while we're talking about independent booksellers, make sure to stop into one of yours. Get some really good suggestions, meet your local bookseller, and help them out. And as always, keep being creative, smile, and have a fantastic week, guys. I will see you next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye.